Yeah,
all right,
no
here we
question.
go. Go to number 6. By all accounts, all the digging I've done, all the research I've done, and I've done plenty on everyone I've named and many more past the players we're talking about tonight, this guy was the greatest hustle player in NBA history. His scoring left a little to be desired. He wasn't a pure scorer, but he was a defensive legend. Maybe the greatest defensive presence in NBA history, arguably. He was considered the Wilt stopper. Now, he didn't shut down Wilt, but he slowed him down like no other. Now, of course, as we talked about, the NBA didn't provide steals and blocks back in this man's career. His dominance on the defensive end of the court would show up in his production. He averaged over 20 rebounds per game 10 times in his career. A great passer out of double teams, and he averaged over 5 assists per game twice in his career. 5-time league MVP, exact same as MJ. A staggering 11 NBA championship teams he contributed to as the anchor. Of course, that was the legendary Celtics of the late 50s and 60s. He finished with 15.1 points per game, 22.5 rebounds, 4.3 assists, and 44% shooting for his career, but here it is. He averaged 20 points per game, 26 rebounds, 47% shooting, and 4 assists per game in his prime during the playoffs. If you just accumulate his prime years, he is what I consider the godfather of basketball, Bill Russell.
Yeah. I mean, he a dominant defender, and the thing is, man, people that was older that actually got to watch him play. I mean, I've seen the games, but they told me, man, he was he was a dominant defender, and they told me he was a defensive wizard because he amongst blocking shots and being a great post defender, he had great hands on defense, and he stripped the ball of guys. And he would those little strip the ball off the dude off his leg out of bounds type plays. He was doing that back in those days, man. He was doing those hustle, those behind the weak side, in transition, rejecting stuff, man. Rejecting shots. He was doing that. I mean, if anything, like his hustle, his defense. You see from guys nowadays, he was the one that really, he was the one that was, the prototype of that.
He set the standard.
Attribute. Yes.
Yes, he set the standard.
And he was a good passer, if I remember the numbers correctly.
Oh yeah. Like I said, he had over 5 assists per game twice in his career for a full season. 4.3 assists per game in the regular season for his career, 4 assists per game during his prime in the playoffs.